Dear viewers, dear Waqf, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to a live episode of Waqf in Focus, a program in which we discuss current contemporary issues which Waqf face. This program is live, it's interactive. You can ask your questions through our YouTube chat or through our WhatsApp number, which is being displayed below. With me in the panel, we have the head of the Central Waqf Department, Luqman Ahmed Kishwar Sab, Tahir Ahmed Khalid Sab, who is serving in the Waqf UK department. And on Skype, we have Zubair Hayat Sab, who is a Waqf life devotee serving in the Review of Religions department. Luqman Sab, if we start with you, if we go straight to the questions, and Waqf asks the questions that what is the process of entering an unborn child into the Waqf scheme?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This Waqf scheme was started by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih IV, in which Huzur gave the instructions that this scheme has been started just for those children who will be dedicated by the parents before their birth. So during the pregnancy, the parents, they should seek permission from Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasir Aziz. They should write or they should give the application to Huzur that we are going to have a future child, and please accept this child in this unborn child in Waqf scheme. So after the approval of Huzur, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, they can be registered in Waqf scheme before their birth. But after the birth, if the parents, they will write to Huzur that now they want to register their child in Waqf scheme, that will not be done. So the first instruction is for this Waqf scheme is to dedicate your unborn child. Before their birth, you should write to Huzur.
Jazakumullah, Luqman Sab. If we just fast forward this and just go to when the child grows up, he has the upbringing, the tarbiyat from the parents. Of course, it's not the choice of the child to be included in Waqf scheme. So the child needs to reconfirm. So what are the reconfirmation stages? How do you reconfirm? Why do you reconfirm? And what are the stages? What age do they need to reconfirm? If we can go to Tahir Sab.
So, like Luqman Sab mentioned quite rightly, before the birth of a child, the parents dedicate their unborn child to be a waqf. And of course, is then the responsibility of the parents to do the training, the tarbiyat, along with the national department to help a child grow, train them, teach them the things that they need to know, instill within them the soul, the dedication of what a waqf actually means. And then at the age of 15, it is necessary for that child to then reconfirm. They've been given that opportunity by Khalifatul Masih that whether you want to continue your waqf or not, because you'll be used wherever the Jamaat may need you. So it's up to you now whether you want to continue. So at the age of 15 and then 18, and then Huzur had given the instruction that when an individual has completed their education, their secular knowledge, whether that be in college, university, at the age of 21, Huzur has instructed that they should, again, this has to be written, a written reconfirmation that I would like to continue my waqf.
Jazakumullah, Tahir Sab. And again, I would urge, Tahir Sab is serving as a missionary in the Waqf UK department. Though Waqf who have any questions related to Waqf in the UK, they can ask the UK Waqf department. And also the Central Waqf department, the email is being displayed again on the screen. And also I would urge all Waqf who are watching from all over the world, if they have any question, they can contact their relevant National Secretary of Waqf in their respective country. Luqman Sab, the next question which we have from Waqf is that after they complete the education, what should they do? How should they proceed after they've completed their education?
First, I would like to add here that they should complete their education in the field in which they have been decided by the Central Waqf under the guidance of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasir Aziz. And after completing their studies, they should write to Huzur that Huzur, we have been specialized in this field, or we have completed our master's degree or any professional skilled degree in any of the field. They should write to Huzur that we have completed our education, now we are ready to serve. Then Huzur will decide either they will be taken into services in the Jamaat, or they will be given permission to continue outside the Jamaat for the experience or other skills. So first of all, after completing their study, they should write to Huzur.
Jazakumullah Luqman Sab, and again I would urge all the viewers, all the Waqf that if they have any questions they can ask through our YouTube chat or through our Waqf WhatsApp number. I would like to go to Zubair Hayat Sab, who has joined us on Skype. And Assalamu alaikum Zubair Sab, can you hear me?
Assalamu. Yep, I can hear you.
Assalamu Zubair Sab, you are a Waqf a life devotee serving in the Review of Religions Department. If you could just give an insight to Waqf that you're a Waqf, you went through the process, you dedicated yourself, how your process went, how you dedicated yourself after completing your education.
So I did a master's in English, but I think 15 years before that, I'm 30 at the moment. I don't look 30, but I am. But 15 years before that, at the age of 15, I remember I had a few mulaqats with Huzur. I was blessed and lucky to have that time with Huzur, and Huzur guided me from then through college, university, and then in my masters. And at that time, Huzur said to do English, and I know within our culture, people were shocked that what are you going to do with English, because English is not seen as something that you can take forward and progress in. But alhamdulillah, I've seen it, and my family has seen that, with Huzur's guidance, the success is there. And at the age of 23, 24, Huzur said that, appointed me into the work in the Review of Religions Department. And that was completely in line with my degree and everything that I wanted to do. And I think a lot of people are a bit nervous. Some people that are watching this might think that Huzur might tell them to do something that's not within their interest or within their qualifications. But it's completely, the opposite. Huzur looks at your qualifications, your interests, what you like to do, and then he guides you along with that, and it always comes towards success and towards prosperity for the individual.
Zubair Sahab, I would just ask you a question there. We have received a question from Thailand, and someone is asking that if you reach the age of 18, how would you urge a Waqf to dedicate himself? Because you reached that age as well and you decided to dedicate yourself. How would you urge other Waqf? How would you guide them?
The thing with me was, in my last year of my degree, I remember it was a bit difficult, some of the exams, and I was in Batafatul Mosque at a wedding, and I really did my namaz and really prayed to God that, if you can get me through these exams, I will dedicate myself to your service. So it wasn't about dedicating myself to a particular department in the Jamaat or, a particular person. It was that I wanted to dedicate myself to God. And through Khilafat, I really found that, it all lined up. So if this person in Thailand or somebody's thinking about this, they should really first pray to God that God guides them into the right way. And then after that, they should write a letter to Huzur and say to Huzur, this is my thoughts, this is my, this is what I like to do, this is my qualification, this is my interest. And I think it will work out. But if you go into this thinking that you want to work in a particular place or have a particular salary or have a particular status, it won't work. Because a lot of the work that we do is behind the scenes, and it's for our personal obedience to Khilafat. It's not about, status or coming on camera and these kind of things. So I think first is prayers, and then you go and ask Huzur that, I would like to offer myself for the service of the Jamaat, and you can be appointed anywhere around the world.
Jazakumullah Zubair Sahab. This is a question which we received from Kashish Sahab from Thailand. Moving on, Luqman Sahab, another question which Waqf asks is, how can they benefit from the Central Waqf Department?
Alhamdulillah, Central Waqf Department is always there to help all around the world for all Waqf and it is the blessing of Allah that we are directly guided by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz. On every stage we take our questions or other problems to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, and whatever Huzur decides or Huzur gives the directions, we just convey all those directions to all the Waqfin around the world. So we have this benefit while being a central Waqf department, that we are guided by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz, and through our department all the Waqfin they can consult Huzur and take the guidance from Huzur.
Jazakumullah, Luqman sir. Tahir Sahab, again, I would ask the same question to you. You serving in UK and also other national secretaries serving in other countries. How can Waqf benefit from their respective country? And regarding career planning and counselling, how would you guide Waqf? How do you guide Waqf?
So we know that, like you mentioned, like Luqman Sahab mentioned, that the central department gets that guidance from Huzur. That guidance is then given to the different countries, respective nations, and the national secretary will then work with his team and try to implement the plan and the instruction of Khalifatul Masih. Now, one thing in terms of career planning, it's something which has to be done from a young age, in terms of having a career planning committee, and this is something which every national department should have, a career planning committee, and this will comprise of the emir of the country, this national secretary of Waqf, secretaries at the local level, the missionaries. There should also be a teacher, a doctor, an engineer, a teacher from Jamia Ahmadiyya. So this is the planning. This is the committee, and then a child at the age of 7. This is from the instruction from Khalifatul Masih, that from the age of 7, this committee should start reviewing all the Waqfin and see from each age, at each level in their life, at each stage in their life, to review them, to check them, to help them, to guide them. At the same time, there should be classes going on, both on a national level, on a local level, on a regional level, and of course, we know today we're having our annual rally, on a national, international level today as well.
Exactly.
So this is how the career planning should be going on. They should keep on getting that guidance from that national department.
Tahir Sahab, another question which just came in, it's from Fasasi Bahiruddin Sahib, and he's asking that what is the difference between Waqf and Waqf-e-Zindagi?
So, I'm not a Waqf, I'm a Waqf-e-Zindagi. And the difference is, a Waqf is someone who is dedicated. Their parents have said, we want to dedicate our child before their birth. Before the child is born, we want to dedicate their life. And that's, of course, when they come under the Waqf department from a young age, and the Waqf will look after them, train them alongside the parents, and then they will continue their Waqf as a Waqf. And whether they serve the Jamaat or not, they'll be under that Waqf department. A Waqf-e-Zindagi is someone who himself or herself decides to dedicate themselves for the Jamaat, and wherever the Jamaat may need them, they will then utilize them according to their skills and whatever they feel is best for them.
Luqman sir, would you like to add something on that?
Yeah, sure. I just would like to add a quotation by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz, just for the sake of the knowledge, that even about the Waqfin, once Huzur narrated in his Friday sermon, Huzur said, all the Waqfin, they are Waqf-e-Zindagi from their early childhood. So if you will inculcate this idea in the mind of Waqfin, that you are not only having a title of Waqf or you are a Waqf, you should ponder about this, that you are a Waqf-e-Zindagi. So if he will have this idea from the early childhood, that he is not only a Waqf, but he is a Waqf-e-Zindagi. That is another, section, that during the services we take all the Waqfin into services, and then after a year or after 2 years, while looking at their progress, they have been approved by Huzur as a Waqf-e-Zindagi, or Murabbiyan, or all other professional or skilled servants in Jamaat. They are called Waqf-e-Zindagi.
But sorry, just to add in that, we have received a related question to this, and Qasim Saab from Birmingham, UK is asking that at what point should we contact the Jamaat that we are ready to dedicate our life to become a Waqf-e-Zindagi?
while being a Waqf, as I just mentioned in my previous question, that when you have completed your education, it is your utmost responsibility that you should consult Hazrat Khalifatul Masih. You should write to Central Waqf Department through Waqf Department, or directly you should write to Huzur that you have completed your studies and now you are ready to serve.
And do you all Waqfin have to go through the Waqf procedure, or can they also serve voluntary? Because that's another question which Faraz Sahib is asking.
Yeah, it is up to Huzur. If you will write to Huzur, Huzur will decide. Either you will be taken to the services directly now, or Huzur will decide or give permission to continue your work outside the Jamaat for experience. So it is up to Huzur, whatever he will decide. And if he decides to take you in the services of Jamaat, then you will become, a formal Waqf Zindagi.
If I may add, you mentioned the quote from Khalifatul Masih that that spirit, that essence of being a Waqf for life, a Waqf Zindagi, should be instilled within all Waqfin and no. And it just hit me that, look, a parent, when they dedicate their child, it's not for 15 years that, okay, when the age of 15, whether they want to continue or not, it's up to them. But from their parents' mind, it's that from the rest of their life, we've given them to the Jamaat. And that should be instilled, that spirit that we're not our parents now, we're the Jamaats. We belong to the Jamaat. Our property, our life is now in the hands of the Jamaat, and we should then mold ourselves according to what the Jamaat needs.
Zubair Sahib, if I could go to you, there's one other question. Zubair Sahib, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Zubair Sahib, so you dedicated yourself, and my question to you is, were you nervous at that time? And the reason why I'm asking is because Waqfin, they asked the question if there's any financial support, or how much will the pay be. These questions, they naturally grow in their mind. So if you could answer that question, please.
In terms of being nervous, I think I still am nervous to this day, because it's a role and a responsibility that is so big that a lot of people look up to you. There's a lot of challenges that you have to face every day being a Waqf Zindagi. You're pushed to the limit in so many different ways that you wake up and you think, okay, I need to serve the Jamaat. And you look at the example of Huzur and you think that you're nowhere near that as a Waqf Zindagi. So you're always nervous, you're always kind of pushing yourself, but at the same time you feel this contentment in your heart that you're doing something with a purpose, and you're not just living day by day just for money or just for material things. And I think it's really true, and it's a great point that Luqman Sahib said, that this is not a job, this is a lifestyle. And when I was at university, I've been to university and a lot of things happen, boys and girls and this and that, and you as a Waqfin, you think to yourself, okay, what's my future? So do I want to get into this university life or college life or even at work, or do I want to rise above it and actually do something beyond it? Because you don't want to feel that guilt that you did something before that's not in line with your Waqf as a Waqfin or as a Waqf Zindagi. And in terms of the money or the financial support, I remember the first mulaqat that I had with Huzur, when I asked to be a Waqf Zindagi and offered myself, Huzur actually said to me, looked me straight in the face and said to me that, there's not much money in it, or there's a little amount of money. So what do you think about that? And I said to Huzur, it doesn't matter about the money to me. And, I'm ready to dedicate my life. And then Huzur said, okay, you can do it. But he made that very clear. And that was the one thing he said to me, that it's not about the money and it's not much money in it. But this is not a job like any other job. And I've seen that over the past 8-9 years, that it's really transformed my life. And I think if you're thinking about it, I think it's something very, very worthwhile to do.
Jazakumullah, Zubair Sahib. Luqman Sahib, coming to you, we have received another question from Ibtisam Gondal Sahib from Australia. And he's asking, after we dedicate ourselves, for example, become a doctor, do we get a chance given where we want to serve, in which country, or do we receive a letter that you need to go to that respective country? If you could elaborate this.
Yeah, as I have just requested that if you are a doctor or you are a professional worker, you should write to Huzur that you have this much qualification in this field. It's up to Huzur. Huzur will decide. Last night I was having my virtual meeting with the New Zealand Waqf now, and there was a question about this, and I just quoted their Huzur's words, in which Huzur said that while being a Waqf now, if you are a doctor or engineer or a lawyer or a barrister, teacher, whatever you are, you should present to Jamaat. You should write to Khalifatul Masih. It is up to Khalifatul Masih, whatever he decides, whether he is going to send you in Africa, whether he is going to send you in America or any other hospital. We have many running hospitals in Africa. We have many schools in Africa. We need professional teachers over there, skilled teachers who are specialized teachers in different fields. We need paramedical staff. So whatever you are, you should present to yourself to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, and he will decide wherever he wants to take from services from you.
Jazakumullah Luqman Sahab. Coming to you, Tahir Sahab, the question which came in from Madiha Saiba is, what is the process of going to Jamia? I would just urge Madiha Saiba that there will be a segment which will be coming up today, where we will be concentrating on Jamia Ahmadiyya and also the life as a Murabbi. But if you could give a quick overview what the process of Jamia
So just
is.
briefly, we know that in terms of careers for Waqf-e-Nau, Huzur had mentioned that number one priority is that we need Muballighin, we need Murabbiyan. And then of course we need doctors, we need engineers, and like Luqman Sahab mentioned, specialized people. Particularly the new hospitals that are being made but in Africa, we need specialized doctors and so on and so forth. But when it comes to Jamia, whether you are Waqf-e-Nau or you would like to, you're not Waqf-e-Nau and you would like to go to Jamia, then you would have to do Waqf-e-Zindagi when you enter Jamia. But then of course there's the test, there's enrollment test which happens as well as an interview, a written test, and then of course this goes, and after the committee sits together and they decide whether someone is suitable for Jamia or not, and then if they are, then they're approved, and then they start their Jamia life.
Jazakumullah Tahir Sahab. Zubair Sahab, if we could come back to you, and my question to you is, we have received another question, and it says that if we are unsure what to do, what career to go into, what to study, can we write to Huzur?
Yeah, I think that's the main thing, that a lot of people are unsure and they're a bit lost in their thoughts, and I completely empathize with that, because when I was younger I wanted to do law, then the next day I wanted to be a doctor, then the next day I didn't know what was going to happen. But with Huzur, not just that Huzur is our spiritual leader, he knows exactly what's happening on the international level. So he speaks to people in different countries, different areas, and I've seen in mulaqats, personal mulaqats, that Huzur knows a lot about what's happening in universities and in careers, and he'll guide you. And even recently I spoke to somebody who was a Waqf-e-Nau, and he said that he was going to become an investment banker, but Huzur said, no, change that to a different field in finance. And he saw that 3-4 years later there were no jobs in investment banking, and it completely collapsed. And he said to me that he was so shocked that, Huzur guided him in that particular way, and that whole field opened up, and the field that he wanted to go in and he was passionate about completely collapsed. So I think we have to put our trust in Khilafat, and we have to realize that he is our spiritual father and he only wants the best for us, and we will get success. Just by doing things ourselves only leads to a small amount of success. It doesn't lead to that greater success that we all want and our families want.
Jazakumullah Zubair Sahab. I hope this answers your question, Sarah Saiba from Norway. Luqman Sahab, if I could go back to you, and another question which Waqf-e-Nau asked is that, can a child stay Waqf if they want to pursue a career not beneficial for the Jamaat?
First of all, again, I would draw the attention of all Waqf-e-Nau that every time, whenever they are going to decide that in which field they should go for higher studies or the profession they take, they should consult Jamaat that which program will be beneficial for Jamaat. After that, if they are permitted by His Excellency Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, His Holiness Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, and they are doing their jobs outside Jamaat offices, they can continue their services as a volunteer for the Jamaat. They can dedicate their weekends for Jamaat. They can dedicate their hours every day whenever they are asked to, to serve in any kind of the Jamaat work. They should be present there. They should work with all other, offices of Jamaat while being a professional in outside the offices of Jamaat.
I believe, Luqman sir, there was also an instruction which went out recently of Hazur Anwar, where Hazur Anwar instructed all Waqfin, they should serve in some kind of capacity, otherwise they'll be excluded from the Waqfin scheme if they don't serve. They shouldn't just carry the title with them. Luqman sir, I have another question which Waqfin asked, which is that after completing the Waqfin syllabus, what should we do?
Waqf syllabus is not only just for the exams. If they have completed their Waqf syllabus, they have memorized many prayers in it, they have read the Holy Quran with translation, they have read many ahadith in it, so many other useful things, different writings, the holy life of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the holy life of the promised Messiah, the life of the promised reformer. These are not only for the exams, they should adopt all those qualities in themselves, as Huzur explained in his Friday sermon in Canada, that if you are a Waqf and you want to be a special Waqf, Huzur gave more than 23 or 4 qualities. Huzur discussed individually every quality, that what kind of a special Waqf you should be. So all this syllabus or nisab is just to help them to be a special Waqf.
Jazakallah, Luqman sir. Tahir sir, another question which came in from Feroz Khan sahib from Switzerland, and he's asking, does the profession teacher help the Jamaat?
Of course, 100%. I mean, we know education is something which Islam, the Holy Prophet ﷺ has always emphasized on the need for to study and of course to help others learn as well. So like Luqman sir mentioned, we need people around the world in particular field, in every field. And teachers is something that we need to, they may be needed in Africa, in the UK, in America, wherever it may be. Teachers need to, and specialized teachers in particular. In a particular field, we will need people who know what they've studied, what they've learned, and then they can then teach that to others, where we know it will be difficult to maybe employ someone from outside. We know within our Jamaat we have people who have learned specific subjects and are specialized in certain fields. We can utilize them. That's the blessed scheme of the Waqf, that we have many people on an array of different subjects, an array of different specialized fields, and we can just choose who we need, when we need them, and everyone inshallah will get their part to play.
Jazakumullah Tahir sir. If we could go back to Zubair Sahab, and Zubair Sahab, I would like to ask you a question. Someone from Sajil Ahmed Sahab, actually from Malaysia, is asking this question, that what should he do after he has completed his A-levels?
So I think with A-levels, you want to pick subjects that you're interested in and that you're good at. But I think if he's a Waqf who's asking the question, then you should try to develop as many skills as possible, have a broad range of skills. So be able to speak, be able to study for long hours, be able to be a strong-minded person. And I think that will serve you and serve the Jamaat in a better way. So for example, when I did my degree in English, a lot of my work that I do now for the Jamaat is nothing to do with English. It's about design. So I had to pick up those skills very quickly within a matter of 2-3 months, and it was a completely different field. But in my mind, I had it that it's not just about what my interests are and what I'm passionate about. It's that I need to learn and be able to have a fertile mind that actually can pick up new skills very quickly, because the Jamaat is moving so fast and the world is moving so quickly in general with technology and different things, that Hazur needs people at the cutting edge of so many different fields. So if you're a Waqf or you want to be a Waqf Zindagi, you have to be the cutting edge of almost every field. And that's the mission that a lot of us are on. And that's the struggle, that's the challenge that we wake up and face every day. That how do we become the best and dominant in all these different fields and as much as possible before we die. So that's really where we should be coming from. It's not about just our particular specialist subject. It's about learning Islam and Ahmadiyyat and every other subject to the best of our ability.
Jazakallah Zubair sir. Luqman sir, if I come to you, another question which came in from Soban Rana Sahib, and he's asking that after I have studied finance at university, how can I serve the Jamaat? How can I help the Jamaat with my skills?
Regarding the finance department, it is very important department in our Jamaat as well. We have different accounts departments. In every department we have a separate account department. So if you are specialized in finance, you should contact Central Waqf department, and we are in need of such qualified Waqf and you can serve in accounts departments.
Jazakallah Luqman sir.
And I would like to add just something to my previous question, which was about the syllabus, that we have, if we have completed the syllabus, if you allow me to add something
Yes.
in it. Sometimes the Waqf or the parents, they ask about the syllabus, that there have been written some notes on it that according to the age group, at the end of every age group, it has been given an article. Sometimes for the higher age groups, we have different books, but most of the time we have different articles. For example, in the syllabus, we have written that at the age of 9 or 10, read about the early life of the promised Messiah. Some Waqf or the parents, or even some local secretaries or national secretaries, they ask about it. I would like to explain here that that is only the name of the article. You can study from any of the books published under the guidance or the supervision of Jamaat. You should consult Al-Islam website. You should consult our Waqf international website. Even Waqf Germany, they have launched their website. So all these articles which are published in Ismail magazine and Maryam magazine, specific magazines for Waqf and Waqfat. For boys, the magazine is Ismail, and for Waqfat girls magazine is Maryam magazine. So if Waqf or Waqfat, they are reading all these magazines, quarterly magazine, so they should be aware of it, that they have such kind of articles printed in their magazines. They should take notes out of those magazines or the articles, then they can complete their syllabus.
Jazakallah Luqman sir. There are many questions coming in from all over the world, and I think we don't have much time left, but one question I would like to ask quickly, Tahir Sahib, is Faizam Asaf from Saudi Arabia. He's asking if there's any one-to-one counseling available in different countries.
So it is again the responsibility of a national department, a national Waqf department, that they have a career planning committee, and with the guidance of those members who are in that committee, they'll be reviewing that child, they'll be helping that child, they'll be seeing what the child is interested in, and of course what the need of the Jamaat is at the time. And then accordingly, they'll help them, they'll guide them, they'll review them, and that one-to-one coordination, communication with the national secretary and your local secretary, because naturally you'll go to your local secretary who will then be liaising with the national secretary, the national department, and that way you'll have that constant guidance, that constant reviewing is happening, where they'll be able to tell you, this is what you need to do, this is what you can do now, and this is that approach is what the Jamaat has established to help every Waqf.
Jazakumullah Tahir sir, Jazakumullah Luqman sir and Zubair sir. Dear viewers, dear Waqf, there are many questions coming in right now, but the time has reached for our program. I would like to urge you that if you have any questions related to Waqf, you can ask the Central Waqf department directly. The email address is being displayed below, which is info@waqfinointl.org, or you can visit our website, which is www.waqfino.org. www.waqfenointl.org. With this, I would like to wrap up this program, and inshallah, we will see you in future programs. Stay tuned in. We are going back to the studio now. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.